Yeah, hi there. I'm looking at your essay right now. The only problem with this thing is, I'm looking. You took about 4 hours, almost 4 hours, to write this thing. So obviously, you don't have that kind of time for the TOEFL. So for the midterm, I'm going to give you about an hour. That's about it. If you want to come a little bit early, you can do that. So you might be able to get an hour and a half or maybe 2 hours, but certainly you're not going to have 4 hours to do your writing test. So I think you're taking a little too long to put together your ideas. Maybe you're overthinking it a little bit. But anyway, I read your essay. I'm going to put you at 3.75 out of 5, 24 points out of 30. If this were the midterm exam, I would probably give you 85% on it. That's where I would put you right now. But again, on the midterm, you're not going to have 4 hours to write it. Okay, so let's take a look at it. There's a few things that you can do, I think, that will make your writing a little bit better. So let's take a look paragraph by paragraph. So yeah, there is a debate about how the government should spend money. And then here, so you don't have a comma splice, you can put the period here. Then you have some people support the idea of spending money to discover outer space and to look for other planets to live on or live in. I'm going to put live on. However, some people think money should be spent to solve most problems on Earth before maybe looking to other planets, maybe for exploration. I fully agree. The major part of money should be spent on improving the quality of life on Earth, especially on health and education. All right. I mean, that makes sense. So we have our next idea here. Furthermore, money should be spent to improve the healthcare system. Maybe put a period here so you don't have a comma splice. You might put toward this aim. And you can tie the two sentences together by using this. The government should build hospitals everywhere in order to provide the health care needed for each person. So I'm not going to put a comma before and because you're connecting two infinitives together, not independent clauses. Give me a quick second here. Let me get my pen. I'm going to take note of some of the problems you're having with your writing, and then at the end of the video, I'll do an inventory on that. So far, it looks like comma splices. That seems to be one of your bigger problems. And maybe punctuation. And reduce the spread of diseases and epidemics which lead to the death of many people. Besides, the government should disseminate awareness of certain diseases. So again, the problem is I like the healthcare system and then hospitals, and then I think you should just focus on that, developing a new hospital and giving an example to illustrate that. You have for example, I will put in October, breast cancer awareness is an effort to raise awareness and reduce the stigma of breast cancer through education on symptoms and treatment in an early stage. This awareness has helped to reduce the proportion of breast cancer significantly due to people's awareness of the disease and its symptoms. So they have the ability to, you want to put to be cured at an early age. So what I'm going to do here is I think I want to get rid of all of this and let's just focus this paragraph around hospitals or building a hospital because that's what you said here in the beginning. You talked about improving the healthcare system, then you talked about building hospitals, then you could give an example of the government which built a hospital and the positive effects maybe that had on the community, and that really helped support this idea here. So instead of besides and adding to this idea with another example, we can get rid of this one, and the rest of this paragraph will be focused only on the hospital. In your second body paragraph, I've added a detail in there to develop the idea of hospitals and why they're important to the healthcare system. So let's see what I did here, and this gives the paragraph a little bit more progression in that one idea. So furthermore, money should be spent to improve the healthcare system. And maybe I wouldn't say furthermore here because you're introducing the idea for the very first time. Now, in the next paragraph, it makes sense that you would say, in addition that. So you have money should be spent to improve the healthcare system. Toward this aim, the government should build hospitals everywhere in order to provide the healthcare needed for each person and reduce the spread of diseases and epidemics, which lead to the death of many people. And then I'm supporting that with this example. For instance, in my hometown, the government just spent $123 million for a new hospital. The new healthcare center encourages the homeless and the poor to get vaccinated against the flu. As a result, thousands of underprivileged patients have come in to get treated. Our city consequently has reduced the spread of the flu dramatically. This year, we have only had 23 flu-related deaths, which is a lot less than the 250 flu deaths we had last year. Right? So that helps illustrate this point. Your next paragraph is actually fairly focused, so I don't think I have to make many changes in terms of the structure. I might make a few grammatical changes in there, but overall I think it's pretty good. Okay, so you said money should be spent to improve the healthcare system. Toward this aim, government... No, we got that one already. Okay, here we go. The government should spend more money to revive education, which plays an important role. I'm going to probably... Let's get rid of... Let's just go to essential. Plays an essential role which plays an essential role to sustain the current and future. It seems like you're missing something. I'm going to put in the word students. So it plays an essential role to sustain the current and future students of our population. Moreover, the government must focus on recruiting, training, and supporting teachers. As a matter of fact, education evolves over time. There are many professional development programs that might help teachers to understand students effectively and to provide them with lessons and information in an easy way, especially for early education programs. Likewise, the government should support students financially by providing scholarships which would expand their knowledge and expand their country's development. In fact, so we have here, likewise, government should support students financially by providing scholarships. Okay, we got that. In fact, scholarships provide students an opportunity to earn an education. Without assistance from an outside source, Students may have trouble paying for the degree they need in order to enter the workforce and become a contributing member of society. So this is actually a fairly well-written paragraph here. So you talked about recruiting, training, and supporting teachers and students. It might be better to just focus on the scholarship idea. That would probably be enough for this paragraph, and that would give you a little bit more of a unifying. All right, let's take a look at your concluding paragraph. Okay, so you say in conclusion, the government should think about people. You want to make this apostrophe. People's lives and what they need to make their lives better. Health and education are two I'm going to just get rid of all this, make this a little more concise. Maybe will help. Health and education will help any nation rise and move in the right direction. Maybe to make this a little more formal, you could say as a result or hence or thus. As a result, the government should spend money to ameliorate health and education. Good vocabulary word there. Okay, so like I said, I think I'm comfortable putting you at 375 out of 5, 24 points out of 30. If this were the midterm exam, I would give you 85 on this. All right, let's read it one more time. There is a debate about how the government should spend money. Some people support the idea of spending money to discover outer space and to look for other planets to live on. However, if you say some people, I would probably here put other. Other people think money should be spent to solve most problems on Earth before looking to other planets for exploration. I fully agree. The major part of money should be spent on improving the quality of life on Earth, especially on health and education. Money should be spent to improve the healthcare system. Toward this aim, the government should build hospitals everywhere in order to provide the healthcare needed for each person and reduce the spread of diseases and epidemics which lead to the death of many people. Okay, how about this? What if we lead to, I'm going to make this a little more concise, lead to many. There. For instance, in my hometown, the government just spent $123 million for a new hospital. The new healthcare center encourages the homeless and the poor to get vaccinated against the flu. As a result, thousands of underprivileged patients have come in to get treated. Our city, consequently, has reduced the spread of the flu dramatically. This year, we've only had 23 flu-related deaths, which is a lot less than the 250 flu deaths that we had last year. Then we have, in addition, the government should spend more money to revive education, which plays an essential role to sustain the current and future students of our population. Moreover, the government must focus on recruiting, training, and supporting teachers. As a matter of fact, education evolves over time, and there are many professional development programs that might help teachers to understand students effectively and to provide them with lessons and information in an easy way, especially for early education programs. Likewise, the government should support students financially by providing scholarships which would expand their knowledge and expand their country's development. In fact, scholarships provide students an opportunity to earn an education. Without assistance from an outside source, students may have trouble paying for the degree they need in order to enter the workforce and become a contributing member of society. In conclusion, the government should think about people's lives and what they need to make their lives better. Health and education will help any nation rise and move in the right direction. As a result, the government should spend money to ameliorate health and education. All right, that's kind of what it looks like. So I took your essay and I made some changes. And even in that third paragraph, you could probably be a little bit more focused, like I was saying earlier. But overall, I think you have a fairly good essay here. Based on the practice test that you wrote, let's see if we can see. I think there's some specific lessons that you can probably study that can help you improve your writing right now. So let's go into the grammar part of my course first, right? And let's see if we can figure this one out. Okay, let's go over to here. I think lesson number 25 is important. This is comma splices, run-on sentences and fragments, particularly focus on comma splices and what they are and how you can repair that type of sentence structure error. Also, lesson 26, sentence variety, I think is a good lesson for you. Lesson number 27, being more concise. Lesson 28, when to use commas, when not to use commas, is a good lesson. And maybe lesson 29, let me see if it has the apostrophe in there too, or maybe not. That's one you can focus on, but don't worry about it for right now, at least. Maybe, hold on. Let's say, okay, don't worry about that one. Okay, let's go into the writing part of my course here. Give me a quick second here. Let's go down. Okay, how about, you have a pretty good structure to your ideas, right? So it's good. How about lesson 5.6, writing the perfect paragraph? That's probably a pretty good lesson for you right now. How about lesson 5.5, how to show depth and complexity of thought to the writing? That's a good lesson for you. All right, I think that's it. So thank you very much for completing the writing practice test and for your efforts in this class so far.